Hello, you guys. Happy Monday. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying Cyber Monday if you do that sort of thing. So I want to say hi. Wanted to come on and talk to you guys about the Be Passionate program that is opening up December 8th. We're going to do a live version of that. So I want to answer questions about that for you guys. See if it's a fit for you. If you have questions, let me know. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we do in that and what my goal is to help you guys in the next couple of weeks so that you can hopefully get something put together for yourself that is an offer that feels very aligned. That's the work that I do with people, is really getting them clear on what they want to bring to the world and create an offer. So some of the people I'm working with right now are working on creating a course, and they're putting that together in Teachable, and we're going through all the steps together. So that's the kind of stuff that I do with the private coaching. And then with the Be Passionate course, you actually get everything, like how to vision your offer, whatever you're aligned with. It's got a whole visioning process in there to get you completely aligned. And then we go into how to really create an offer that's speaking to kind of like your higher end people. And that's the topic that I wanted to talk about today with you guys, which is how I was able to double my income in my business, probably like 100 times my income. It was really crazy when I started to get really clear about who I was best serving in my business. And when I aligned to that and I got really clear on that, how it made my income jump so quickly, so fast. So I was able to start my business. I had some debt when I started because I had to obviously invest in some things. And then I was able to get that going, and I thought that I was serving a specific type of client, and it ended up that I was all wrong. So I'm going to talk about the key things, like the 3 things that you really need in order to get yourself aligned and get yourself to that place where you know that you have the right offer. So I want to talk about that in terms of it not only feeling aligned, but then it also serving in the highest way. So what comes to my mind are words like high level or high end or aligned. Those are kind of the words that I think about, because when I started my business, I was really thinking like lower end when I first started. And that's usually the thing when people come to me, like for us, just a general session. Usually they're very dim. And what I mean by dim is like they're not fully owning who they are. So, and it's because they're like listening to everyone on the outside and they're not really centered and clear on who they are. Hey, I see people popping on. Say hi as you come on. Hey, Connie. I see some new people too, so say hi and let me know your name, because I see your Instagram handle. And if you're on Facebook, definitely say hi. If you're watching the replay, let me know. So yeah, it really is about getting clear on who you can serve on that higher level. And so I wanted to talk about really the 3 simple things that I did that helped me to jump. Like in terms of my income, it helped me go from serving people that were really not in my best interest, and so then I think they felt that, and it makes you feel frustrated when you try to work with that type of client. I mean, I don't know how many of you on here are already business owners, and if you are, that's amazing. And I think you'll get something out of this, because I think you'll see that, you know, maybe who you are serving right now, or if you're new, and if you're thinking about serving someone, you may actually be thinking too small. You may actually be thinking like on a simple level, well, I could, you know, serve this type of client. And I think that's a great like entry into your business, to actually go, okay, because it's a great step actually. For most people, I think they're scared, you know, to take that leap. And I know that was the case for me. Probably I can think about both times when I had the two prior businesses, and even now for my current new business that I've created, where I'm helping people with their businesses. So when I first started, that was the case for me. I did what I thought was kind of like more like entry level, where I started in a small way, and that really kind of hindered me or kept me from making the progress that I needed to, or that I was capable of, really fast. So, and it wasn't until I really did some of these things, like these 3 things, that everything started to click into place. So the first thing was I had to really decide. I had to say, okay, this is what I want to do. And when you make the decision, I call that getting centered. So for a lot of you that have worked with me before, a lot of the work that I do is helping you get clear, helping you get into your truth, and what I call helping you get centered. So, and that to me is when you're in kind of like a place of alignment. So you know for sure this is what you want to do, what you're meant to be doing, what your purpose is. And with that comes decision. So you then have to like say, okay, I'm full in. I'm making this decision to go for it. And that's a big deal, because that is pretty much you saying energetically, I'm ready. And when you've made that decision and you're clear about it, then it allows for the next thing to happen, which is kind of what I'm going into the second step already, which is the right people come to you. So if you are clear and you're in alignment, usually very naturally, then the right people are going to start coming to you or appearing to you. Now that will usually come in your circle of people that already know you. So right off the bat, usually what I see with my clients is when they get clear about who they want to serve and the business that they want to do, their purpose, and they make that decision and they really become public about it, that's when their circle of people that know them take notice and they say, I want to work with you, or what are you up to? Or, you know, they're really curious. They want to know more. And they actually are they're like your cheerleaders. They're the people that are kind of the first people to work with you usually. So that happens usually right off the bat, which is really nice, because usually those people are very nurturing. They care about your success. They want to see you, you know, do well, which is really nice. But they may not be your, what I call your higher end, or like your higher level client. They might be, but most likely they are not. Okay, so then that's where you take that next step and you start really honing in on who is the right person. Okay, so now that you've done the first step, you've made your decision, now you go into that place of really starting to align with that client that you know you are here to serve, right? Like, and I'm talking about the highest level for yourself. So you're actually not dimming yourself. You're not hiding yourself. You work on yourself in the background. So you're actually leading yourself through your fears, maybe getting help with that. And I'm going to talk about that next. That's the third step. So you definitely have to be working on yourself in the background. But then you also want to be aligning with these people. So you have to look at the language that you're using. And this is true for anything in life, okay? Like, it can be for relationships, it can be for products and services, the clients you want to align with, a house that you're trying to get, whatever it may be. If you want the right thing, you have to get into the right language and the right thoughts behind it. If you are thinking too small, that's what you're gonna get, right? And then for most people, when I work with them first, they're like really in a low place. Like they're, and that's why everything around them, what is kind of showing up for them in their world is very like small and dim and not good. So if you're wanting that in your business, if you want to kind of what like I call take a leap, like if you're wanting to see numbers double, which is what happened for me in my especially in my first business, then you have to think about like who is that higher level person that I need to be speaking to, and what is it in me that I'm hiding? Like, what am I? If you look at yourself, in this process, you'll start to see that maybe you are attaching to certain thoughts or certain beliefs or certain words, or doubts or fears, within yourself, and that's keeping yourself small. So to give you a really quick example, like in my first business, when I first started it, I immediately bought like these balloons, party balloons, and this was for this balloon business that I had started in college. And also we had helium tanks, and so we were slowly starting to like rent out helium tanks and also balloons to people for their parties, okay? Initially, we came up with the name Party Animals for our business, which was really cute at the time. And we started to put out ads, for people that we wanted to try to attract, people that were needing balloons or having parties, okay? So what kind of people were reaching out to us on the phone? We were getting people calling up and saying, hey, can you deliver 12 balloons to my house? And when that started happening, I was like, oh my God, like I am not gonna make anything from this. I mean, you can, but you would have to bust your butt. Like you would have to work really, really hard and do many, many jobs, make many, many deliveries. And that to me, that didn't fit the lifestyle that I wanted. I definitely wanted, I wanted to be able to pay all my bills. I wanted to be able to have kind of a nicer lifestyle. I wanted to see myself go to higher and higher levels and be able to pay off debt. Like I had college debt. I wanted to buy a house. Like I wanted a normal life, but I wanted to be able to afford a normal life. And so when I was getting that kind of business, it was not what immediately I started to feel frustrated. So if that's the case for you, no matter what, like if you're listening to this and you're not, doing a business, hopefully you are, you're getting inspired. But if this is true for you, like in relationships or anything, it can definitely mean that you've got to take a look at like, what are your beliefs about yourself and what kind of language are you using and what are you putting out there? Because you could be very well thinking more simple, more small, and then that's what you're attracting, right? So I see Rosemary saying it's okay to dream big. Yes, you have to hold that energy of like, I'm worthy of something great and I want this. Like, I know I want this. And that's what I was doing. I knew that already, with this business. So, really, I had to take a hard look at myself and what I was putting out there. And I had to really say, okay, I want something better here. Like, I want to definitely upgrade or up level. And I had to really put some thought into who do I need to be speaking to here. I was getting it all wrong. So this is where the second step comes in really strongly. And it was the offer I was making. Is it the right person? Was it the right person? Was I using the language of that right person? And was I being clear and being simple in the language? And it was all a no. I was like close, but really thinking too small. So I then started to assess, well, where is it in my business that I could serve people on a higher level? So that's where you have to take yourself kind of like out of this more simple thinking and go, okay, what is really my best service here? How can I be different and really serve to a capacity that people will truly like appreciate and get more, out of what I'm offering? And this is where I'm always evaluating what I'm doing. So I'll give an example of that too in a sec. But for me, it was, in this specific example, it was that I was offering to people who wanted to do parties. And that was the language that I was using. So I had to shift my language and I had to think about who can I serve actually on a broader level, on a higher level. And when I thought about it, really what we were doing in our business and what we were niched in, was the helium tanks. It was very unique that we had this product that was actually hard to get a hold of and then serve to customers. So where our uniqueness lied, this is the key, like look for where you are unique. And really that sometimes is owning like your true self, like the things that you really do well, that maybe you take for granted, that you don't think that you do well, but this is really good to like look at. So at some point we said, okay, helium tanks, that's our niche. That's what we really are good at. How can we put that out there? And all we had to do was shift our language from party people to more of thinking about who can use helium tanks on a monthly basis. Like, where can we get consistent income and create a partnership or a relationship with a client that needs us on a consistent basis? And all we had to do was shift our language to start talking to people about helium tanks. So we used that word a lot. We shifted from doing balloons to helium tanks. And we also shifted our thought in how we can serve our clients. So no more were we talking about parties. Now we were talking about what the helium tanks, having them on a monthly basis, what that could do for our clients over and over and over. And that was, it was helping them to do marketing. It was actually helping them to bring in clients. So we started shifting our language from, hey, do you need party balloons, to, hey, do you need a way to, a really creative, easy way to attract clients into your business. And we would go then if they did call us, or if we went to see them and talk to them about using helium and balloons, we would show them, that this was a really easy way to get people to think, hey, there's something going on, right, at this business. So a lot of that stuff that I'm talking about right now is stuff that we talk about in the Be Passionate program. We get more into the details of all the details of like the language to use. We help to clarify that for you. We help you to really get clear on how you can shift your messaging, so that you are speaking to the right person or people, because that's really important. And really like get support in that. And that's going to be the third thing. When I said 3 simple things, to double your income, really for me, it was having support during that time. And I had a mentor during that time. I had a person that had already done this as a business. And she is the person that I attribute all of my business success to, Kate. She's now in heaven, bless her. And I'm always so grateful that I met her, back in college, because she taught me so much. In fact, when she passed away, her funeral was huge. Like 500 people showed up, and they were all people that had learned so much from her. And so I'm always feeling like, pay it forward. I want to pay it forward. I want to do what she did. I want to follow in her footsteps and show other people how to do this. And Kate was one of those people that I could go to, I could sit down with, and I could, talk to her about some of these challenges. And so I had that support. So that's where this program comes in for you guys and what I do now. And that's where I feel this huge shift happening. And so, for a lot of you that know me, I used to do spiritual coaching. Before that, I had this $1 million a year balloon and helium business. And what I've led up to now is really having that desire to see people take steps. And so when I was doing spiritual coaching, a lot of what I was learning was purely just really engaging with people and listening with people and really learning to use my intuition. And that was really important because I was out of alignment. By the time I left my balloon and helium business, I was really burnt out. And I was doing it all myself. And I only started to implement some really important things that I now share in my programs about being more balanced and hiring when you need to, and when is the right time to do those kinds of things. But I didn't do that until the very end. So it took me leaving that business and then getting into spiritual coaching and really learning to listen to my intuition for me to really understand how important it is to feel how you come into play, like what your needs are on a personal level. And I was doing a lot of that naturally with my first business. My second business, I would say, got me to get more clear about my intuition. And as I started working with people, what I started to notice was with spiritual coaching, a lot of people come and they just want the validation. That's a big deal when you're trying to get yourself into something new or shifting your life or looking for an answer. A lot of times you need that validation. And I started to figure out that I'm good at that. I can do that, but I was starting to get frustrated because I wasn't able to get people to get to that next step. And I really want to see them take the steps. And I started to realize there's something more here going on. There's me really truly like serving in a higher capacity with people. So that's where I'm talking about now. You always have to be assessing and really looking at like, where is my next level? Am I not serving in my highest capacity? Do I need to be shifting my language? And for me, that was kind of nerve-wracking to say, okay, I'm going to start going out there and really just saying, this is me, like business coach. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about income. And that's a big shift, to go from I'm talking about spirituality all the time to I'm talking about that plus business, plus talking about big numbers, that it sometimes blows people away. When I tell them I had a balloon business, I was making $1 million a year with that business. So this is where I think a lot of this is resonating for you guys. I see Cindy on saying yes. So I think what happens is you start to feel the frustration, and it's good to understand that frustration is only a message to you. It's just telling you that something is not quite right. And you have to shift it and take a look at yourself and say, okay, what am I doing? Like, am I hiding something? Am I not really stepping into my full potential here? Am I not really stepping into like my highest service, what I really am meant to be doing here? And it could be that you're only looking at a small piece of what you're doing, and that's okay. Sometimes you need to take time in that piece and really learn, what you need to learn there. But if you're feeling frustrated because the income isn't coming in, or like it's not happening at the levels that you feel like you should be making it, then most likely it's because you're holding back, some part of you. And that's where this program, I'm all about, like, let's get you really clear. Let's get you to a place where you really know who you're supposed to be serving, at what level, that higher level. You have the support. We work through things like what language to be using, like how to get to that place where you're using that kind of like higher end language. And we map it all out so that you can have it mapped out and you can start offering it really simply, just offering it. You may be offering something right now, but it may be like on a small level. So now it's time to think about scaling it, right? Like how to scale. If you already have success doing what you're doing, it could be that you just need to scale it, right? But it could also be that you're just thinking too small, and that you've got to really shift who you are serving. And also kind of dropping any beliefs that you have about money or where people get money from. Because I can say, like, full on, in the businesses that I've had, we often, I think, get tied up about like thinking that the people that we're going to serve don't have the money. And that's just not the case. People can get money. I'm going to tell you, when I was in college and I started my business, I had no money, okay? And there were things I had to invest in. I had to buy a truck. I had to buy helium tanks. I had to buy equipment. I had to buy balloons. And I felt a deep urge that this was the business for me to start and to go after it. I felt that so strongly. And if I had let my worries about money get in the way, I would have never gotten to $1 million years in my business. There were multiple times in my business that I literally came up to a point where the money wasn't there, like for me to go from here to here, and or for me to invest in something, or for me to like say buy a house, or for me to make huge investment in my business. And I really could feel when I was getting up to that edge, and I literally had to say it's gonna happen. And I had to make the decision, and then I would take the leap. I would take the step, and literally like the clients would appear, the business would, it would just unfold. Everything would like come. So that's the thing that I would have to say, for like, just kind of want to end with that, is that I think a lot of times our fears come into play. And I know especially around money. So you're going to be hearing me talk more about this, because I've been really kind of hearing things coming, and I'm like, wow, especially in 2020, there's so much fear about money, and people literally like attaching to thinking like, well, nobody has money right now. People have money. They have money, y'all. There's people out there. And if they don't have it, they have ways to get it. Okay? So don't tell yourself that, because if you tell yourself that, you're limiting yourself. And you've got to get into the energy of saying, no, I know who I'm serving, and I know this is the highest level that I'm serving them at. And so I'm ready for that. And I'm ready for them to come. So that would be the thing that I would say to you, is it's being in that energy of being ready yourself. And that's showing the clients that are going to come to you, like be attracted to you, that they are ready too. And that's exactly the energy that you want for whatever you create, whatever program you put out, whatever offer you put out, whatever it is, that you're putting out there, even if it's yourself and that you are wanting a relationship, you have to be in ready energy. You have to say, I've decided, I'm ready. This person's coming. And to me, that's attracting, the right person. So I hope you guys see some of this. If I would say go and re-listen to this, especially about the part about up-leveling, or hearing what the higher level is, who that person is. Kind of work on that for yourself. Maybe start jotting down some notes about letting that come to you, who that person is on a higher level. If you need help with that, then definitely reach out to me, and let me know what's coming to you. If you're feeling that frustration and you're like, I don't quite know, please ask those questions, you guys. Please feel free to reach out to me. Like private messenger is fine. And I can help you kind of see, that difference, that shift. And then if you need the work, like the personal work, you have options. Like there's the Be Passionate program that's opening up December 8th. It's very affordable. We're going to be doing 5 weeks together. Right now it's priced at $500. And so reach out to me if you're interested in that. And then there's also private coaching that I do with people. And the private coaching, we get a lot more deep into things. So I have people that I'm working with right now. We're building out courses together, so that they have stuff in place that they can just put on automate and bring in income. And they can offer these things at the right times when they feel throughout the year that they want to offer them. Okay, so if you want more information about that, reach out to me and we can chit chat back and forth on what that looks like. So if you have ideas in your mind, definitely reach out and let me know. That's what I'm all about. That's the kind of energy that I love, is to help you with implementing these things, like to really get them in place so that you can be bringing in the income and you can feel a little bit more comfortable and more satisfied, with stuff. So let me see if you guys have any questions. Let me know if you do, if you're on live right now or you're just saying hi. I see a lot of people joined. Does anybody have any questions? If anybody wants to come on and want to talk about their business, I have a few minutes. So if you wanted to request to join live, you definitely can, if you're not scared. If you want to chat back and forth, I see Miss Elizabeth is on. Oh, I see that she tried to join live. Do you want to join live? You can if you want to say hi. I see Connie's on. Anybody want to talk about their business or the challenges that they're having right now? I see Cindy said, you just gave me an epiphany. Love it. Well, that's cool. Definitely share with me what the epiphany was. And I see Connie says, I love you. I love you too, girl. So I know a lot of you that are on here, and people on Facebook too are following, and you guys are in the energy of creating things, and you're wanting to start your businesses, and some of you have been starting them. You've been getting them going this year, so I'm so proud of you guys. I love it. But yes, I'm all about let's up level. Let's get you to a whole other level that maybe you don't think that you're capable of, but I know you are. Okay? So let me know. Okay, Cindy says, I'll tell you. Okay, Cindy. So, all right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna sign off, and this is the new energy, you guys. Like for 2021, really get into who you serve on a higher level, because this is the perfect time to shift. It's the perfect time to go from, the old you, what was, serving in that kind of smaller way, to like saying, I'm ready, to go into this higher energy now. So I'm excited for you guys. So let me know if you're interested in the Be Passionate program, okay? Because that's starting December 8th, but I am going to just keep that open and running. I think I'm just going to do it like as an open program. You always have access to the content in that program, and there's a lot of content in there. But during the 5 weeks, what I really want to do is just get you clear on who you're serving at a higher level, get your a simple offer in place, and then show you guys how to put that out there to people in a really simple way, so that you're attracting the right people, and getting them to be getting into transformations or whatever it is that you do, whatever it is, however you serve on a greater level. So you have that program, you have private coaching available to you. I'm actually thinking of doing some kind of ongoing mastermind with everybody. And this would be people that are wanting to serve on that higher level too, because that's where I'm headed. That's where I'm feeling most called to help people with. So let me know, okay, you guys, and I'm gonna sign off and say goodnight to you guys. Happy Monday, and I will see you soon. All right, bye guys.